strengthening Sarawak-Norway ties. On a Malaysia Agreement 1963, an Action Council on MA63 to be set up. Bringing you the eye on the news tonight, you're now with me, Shulshamato, and this is TVS Nightline. Premier of Sarawak, Dr. Patigi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tunapeng, received a courtesy call from Norway's ambassador, His Excellency Morten Poulsen, at Wisma Bapa, Malaysia on Wednesday. The courtesy call is aimed to introduce himself as the new Norway ambassador to Malaysia. Furthermore, the courtesy call was also to discuss bilateral trade as well as improving bilateral relations between Norway and Sarawak. Among those who attended the courtesy call were the Deputy Head of Mission of the Royal Norwegian Embassy, Tom Ogren Martinussen, General Manager of Skatex Solar, Anfin Inga Unum, Business Development Manager of Det Nox Veritas Malaysia, Dr. Masan Shah, and Senior Hydrogen Consultant, Thomas Keller. The federal government will implement the rights as enshrined in the Malaysian Agreement 1963. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim stressed that the agreement is a thrust under his leadership in defending the Malaysian spirit.
Akhir tahun lalu saya umumkan keperluan kita menyegerakan pelaksanaan beberapa hal yang masih tertangguh dalam isu perjanjian Malaysia 1963 MA63, dan saya telah tugaskan TPM Haji Fadillah untuk mempengerusikan, menyegerakan bersama dengan Menteri Al-Nizam, tugas khas, dan mereka saya ucap tahniah kerana telah menyegerakan pertemuan dan keputusan-keputusan yang saya anggap sangat kritikal untuk menjalin hubungan yang lebih akrab dan melaksanakan semangat perjanjian yang menjadi isu yang dipertikaikan sekian lama. Sudah harus ingat, ini MA 1963. Jadi harus ada satu tekad politik dalam pimpinan untuk bukan saja pertahankan semangat Malaysia dan konsep persekutuan, tetapi untuk pimpinan sekarang menghormati keputusan kebijaksanaan pimpinan awal, baik dari Semenanjung atau Sabah dan Sarawak, dan cuba melaksanakan sedaya upaya.
In efforts under the spirit of the Federation, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim said the government will set up an Action Council on MA63, and discussions on it should be made by the end of this month, which is expected to be held in Kuching.
Untuk memastikan pelaksanaan itu lebih berkesan, jawatankuasa tindakan, jawatankuasa kerja akan diteruskan, dan ini akan diputuskan oleh TPM Fadilah, dan supaya hal-hal perkara yang tertangguh itu dapat dilaksanakan dengan baik. Dan ini termasuk umpamanya apa yang disebut peruntukan kepada Sabah dan Sarawak menurut peruntukan 112D dalam perjanjian, yang menetapkan satu peruntukan yang munasabah kepada Sabah dan Sarawak. Peruntukan itu yang mulanya diberi sekitar 65 juta. 16 juta pada peringkat awal. Ya, 16 dan 25. Tetapi dan harus dikaji semula setiap 5 tahun. Hal ini tidak berlaku. Dan oleh demikian kita harus memastikan ada peningkatan jumlah yang munasabah peruntukan yang berbeda daripada capitation grant ataupun road grant maris, ya. Ini dalam perjanjian Malaysia 1963 itu ada peruntukan khas 112D yang menuntut Kerajaan Persekutuan memberikan peruntukan khas kepada Sabah dan Sarawak. Maka ini satu tahap yang sudah dihidupkan, ya, satu hal yang dihidupkan semula, dan kita akan cuba muktamadkan sesegera mungkin dalam pertemuan saya dengan Premier Sarawak dan Ketua Menteri Sabah.
Meanwhile, the formula for the payment of special grant to Sarawak and Sabah based on Article 112D of the Federal Constitution will be finalized in the inaugural meeting of the Malaysia Agreement 1963 Action Council MTP-MA 63 next February. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof said the meeting, to be chaired by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, will also involve Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Hopeng and Sabah Chief Minister Datuk Seri Haji G. Noor, and will be held in Kuching. He also said the meeting will also mark the 10th Prime Minister's first official visit to Sarawak. He further said the MA 63 Technical Committee that he chairs will oversee discussions with all agencies as well as decide on matters to be brought to the MTP MA 63.
Sarawak and Sabah will have full control over development projects under 50 million ringgit, as announced by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim. The change will allow both states to handle projects at those values without requiring approval from Putrajaya.
Anwar said this is the first step to demonstrate the government's seriousness in committing to the Malaysia Agreement 1963.
Seperti sudah tahu, walaupun ada JKR, Sabah dan Sarawak, tetapi kata putus itu terlalu banyak di Putrajaya. Jadi, walaupun peruntukan besar diberikan, tetapi peruntukan itu pun tak dapat dipenuhi kerana pentadbiran mengikut peraturan biasa yang terpaksa merujuk ke Persekutuan. Jadi kita telah putuskan dan Kementerian Kewangan bersetuju untuk menetapkan mana-mana projek di bawah 50 juta ringgit itu diserahkan hampir sepenuhnya kepada Sabah dan Sarawak.
He said this at a media conference after chairing a cabinet meeting today. Anwar added there will be further allocation from the federal government for Sabah and Sarawak, which will be channeled through the Works Ministry. He said the cabinet discussed at length on the need to commit to the MA 63, which had been held off for too long. The Prime Minister will also chair an MA 63 special committee meeting, which will be held in Kuching next month.
The Sarawak government lost the decision by Putrajaya to grant authority to Sarawak and Sabah to decide on government projects valued below 50 million ringgit.
Chief Political Secretary to the Premier, Fazruddin Abdul Rahman, said this will allow less bureaucracy in the way of implementing development projects in East Malaysia, thus expediting projects implemented for the people. According to him, in regards to the restoration and the realization of the Malaysia Agreement MA 63, Sabah and Sarawak will have more autonomy on the development in both states. He also commented that this will allow for greater emphasis on concerted development, bridging the gap between the rural and urban areas. Fazruddin also thanked the Prime Minister for his commitment to have a meeting to resolve Sarawak's claim for the payment of special grant to the Borneo states under Article 112D of the Federal Constitution, and he expressed hope for a favorable outcome for Sarawak.
Fellow Sarawakins acknowledge Putrajaya's decision on granting autonomy to both Bornean states in implementing development projects under 50 million ringgit to be prompt and fair.
I fully agree and I support and I understand what he's saying, because over here, if we were to go through the process, it will take forever. As it is when you deal with community projects and things that develop for the people, it has to be instantaneous in that sense. They must be able to see it and feel it.
Meanwhile, for Amir Dawi and Hadiah Lin, such a move could also empower development, especially in rural areas.
As a Sarawakian, kami rasa lah, I think benda tu bagus untuk projek-projek yang kita boleh handle din pun, yang that we can handle on our own lah. That means that we have the power to decide as long as nya bawah daripada 50 juta tadi nak. So kami rasa manfaatnya mungkin ke dalam kat area-area yang rural areas, mungkin zatnya dapat mempercepatkan lagi apa-apa projek yang saya nak mula lah. Si perlu nak pergi ke refer to yang tempat yang kita mention tadi. So yeah, I think as a Sarawakian, this is good news untuk kami orang lah.
Kalau di pedalaman, if you tengok di Sarawak ni kan, of course yang people dari Semenanjung, they don't know what is going on dekat Sarawak ni. Kita nak macam infrastructure, logistik tu. Memang susah dah dekat Sarawak, tapi if with kemudahan-kemudahan macam ni, at least orang-orang di daerah pendalaman dapat merasa apa yang kita di bandar merasakan.
Earlier today, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced several successful developments in settling the claims and rights as stipulated in MA 63.
In other developments, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced that Malaysia will bolster its border control amidst fresh waves of COVID-19 fears. In a special address, Anwar said that the health and safety of the people continue to be of the utmost priority.
Jemaah Menteri memutuskan tanpa ragu bahawa masalah kesihatan rakyat itu adalah hal yang utama. Soal pelancongan atau pertumbuhan ekonomi itu tidak boleh mengatasi kepentingan mengawal dan merawat rakyat.
This comes as China eased its travel restrictions to its residents this coming January 8. Anwar stressed that the country's entry points will be tightened even further to screen travellers from all countries, adding that the government will not make a hasty decision and will continue to monitor the development of the situation.
Private and public sectors in the state are urged to establish workplace nurseries in building plans, especially those involving large corporations and organizations. According to the Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Sarawak, Datuk Seri Fatimah Abdullah, by offering a nursery for employees, the employer would end up strengthening the company's image as a socially responsible organization while promoting gender equality, well-being at work, and a successful work-life balance.
So untuk memastikan mereka kekal di dalam workforce kita, kerana wanita mereka mempunyai kemahiran, mereka juga dapat memberi sumbangan kepada nation building kita dengan kemahiran, dengan ilmu yang ada pada mereka. Jadi sistem sokongan itu penting supaya mereka dapat bukan saja terus bekerja, tapi pada masa yang sama mereka juga merasa selesa, tidak perlu risau tentang keselamatan dan juga tentang asuhan dan bimbingan yang diberikan kepada anak-anak mereka.
She told this to reporters on Wednesday following her visit to the University Malaysia Sarawak Unimas Childcare Centre in Kota Samarahan. Fatimah further stressed that an on-site nursery eventually increases the company's productivity. Fatimah also revealed that her ministry has also come across those who are willing to renovate a room into a workplace nursery.
Dan kita bersedia untuk membantu dari segi khidmat nasihat, komponen-komponen yang perlu ada, yang perlu dipatuhi supaya nanti dapat diluluskan dari segi peroperasiannya. Ini yang penting dalam kita nak beri lesen untuk beroperasi. There must be compliance to aspects of safety oleh technical agency seperti BOMBA, seperti Jabatan Kesihatan, seperti local authority.
Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development KPWK Sarawak, Datuk Seri Fatimah Abdullah said that the state government is in negotiations to subsidize early childhood education to B40 groups starting this year. As such, she further revealed that the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Paninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, has also agreed to allocate 2.5 million ringgit to realise the said initiative.
Jadi we are working on it untuk memberi bantuan terutama kepada kumpulan B40. Sebenarnya Yang Amat Berhormat telah bersetuju untuk memberi peruntukan sebanyak 2.5 juta. 2.5 juta. Kemudian kita akan perhalusi dari segi kriteria-kriteria yang boleh mendapatkan bantuan ini untuk menghantar anak-anak mereka ke taska, terutama taska swasta. Kalau di luar bandar, kita mempunyai taska juga. Taska di luar bandar kebanyakannya dikendalikan oleh Kemas.
However, Fatimah said that the amount can only be subsidized by the state government is still under evaluation and the rest of the funding will be remunerated by the parents themselves.
Coming up right after the break, MPKS malls having traffic warden unit and all booked up for Chinese New Year reunion dinners. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back to the Nightline. The Samarahan Municipal Council MPKS mulls setting up its own traffic warden unit to enforce traffic regulations in Samarahan. This is in view of the tedious congestion along the Kuching-Samarahan Expressway. As such, the establishment of the unit would also tackle traffic violations and obstructions.
Its chairman, Dato' Peter Minos, pointed out that it is due time that the council to emulate the likes of Kuching South City Council, MBKS, Kuching North City Commission, DBKU, and Miri City Council, who have their own traffic wardens. He noted that the short-term solution for the congestion along the expressway is to acquire the police to assist in controlling the heavy traffic flow at the Jalan Chana near Samajaya Free Industrial Zone. With severe traffic congestion in the area, especially during peak hours from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the evening. Minos suggested for those residing in Kota Samarahan to opt for alternative routes such as the Kuching Outer Ring Road linked to Serian Kuching or Jalan Muhammad Musa to Jalan Setakan Road to avoid the congestion. However, he cautioned the road users that there will be expected congestion as there are ongoing upgrading works at the said routes. He urged members of the public who use the Kuching-Samarahan Expressway to be patient and wait for the traffic lights project at the roundabouts to be completed. There has been a rising number of complaints about traffic congestion along the Kuching-Samarahan Expressway due to the ongoing project to replace the roundabouts with traffic lights. Meanwhile, Sarawak Public Works Department JKR in a statement released on Tuesday assured the public that traffic management will be improved further with the construction activity now reached the critical phase of laying the sub-base road base at the fourth roundabout. The public is advised to follow the traffic updates, directions, and signages along the construction site.
With less than 3 weeks to the Chinese New Year celebration, many restaurants and hotels in Kuching are seeing an increase in bookings for CNY reunion dinners than last year. A quick check by TVS at a few renowned restaurants around Kuching found that dinner reservations are already nearing 70% capacity.
For restaurant supervisor Shauna Law, the lifting of COVID-19 restrictions is the reason for the increase in the number of dinner bookings from last year.
The customer also is quite okay. Previous year, because we have control by the seat and the table, we want to now it's already increased for almost the half of the table. At the moment, we are fully booked because we got two times. It's 5:30 to and another one is at 7:30.
Sarawak Restaurants Association Chairman Kapitan Stanley Hu said there is a marked improvement in the number of reservations for the upcoming Chinese New Year reunion dinner.
We believe that as time draws near towards Chinese New Year, table for dine-in will be booked very quickly as well. Therefore, we urge customers to place their reservation as soon as possible if they wish to have their reunion dinner done by us.
Similarly, another restaurant manager, Janet Ho, said that while the numbers improve, they are still fewer than pre-pandemic levels. She noted that due to the rising cost of goods, restaurant operators have no choice but to also increase the price of dinner packages.
Of course, we'll increase the price because of the inflation, but actually our price is very, is very standardized because everything is increased, the things, then so of course we have to increase a bit.
Meanwhile, Malaysia Association of Hotels MAH Sarawak Chairman John Teo also expects that hotel rooms in Sarawak to be fully booked for the festive season.
We are expecting more outstation families to come back to Sarawak. A lot of them has not been back for the past 2 years for reunion, and a lot of those people who are working overseas, they would want to come back and at least join the families for reunion.
In other matters, Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim said that the decision in regards to the overnight policy rate or OPR is under the jurisdiction of Bank Negara Malaysia, BNM, and not the Finance Ministry. Anwar, who is also the Finance Minister, explained that his ministry and the Central Bank each have specific roles as enshrined under the laws.
Peraturan dan undang-undang sekarang ini, OPR itu keputusan Bank Negara, bukan keputusan Menteri Kewangan. Jadi, perkara bincang, saya boleh bincang, tapi itu adalah wewenang Bank Negara.
He said this in response to a query by members of the press regarding the OPR increase set to be announced by Bank Negara. At the same time, Anwar said the Ministry of Finance will also take the view of the Bank Negara Governor in the drafting of Budget 2023.
Esok umpamanya, sebelum merangka belanjawan, saya undang Governor Bank Negara, Menteri Ekonomi, Menteri Kewangan, itu bincang sekali. Dan saya ingat pendekatan ini yang pernah saya lakukan dulu. Jadi tidak asing kerana tindakan mana-mana pihak itu akan juga melibatkan dasar ekonomi keseluruhannya.
On to the next highlight. The term harassment is yet to be defined legally, or such a topic is deemed a taboo within the society. Any unwanted sexual attention is offensive and humiliating, and whether done verbally, physically, or psychologically, is sexual harassment. However, the question remains, how should one go about on this? Sarawak Women for Women Society Committee member Kimberly Tan stressed that there are still limitations and inequalities in terms of human rights towards protection, which can be further improved, as she holds true to the belief of survivors rather than victims.
So prior to the tabulation of it, the only legal law that is available in Malaysia to protect survivors comes from the Employment Act 1955. So this also means Kalau you a student, kalau you a housewife, house husband, the law does not protect you. It only protects pekerja and employer. Yeah, so that is definitely a huge gap. This is why that we've been pushing for the anti-sexual harassment bill. SWWS and also our sister NGO kat Semenanjung and also Sabah, we've been working for this bill actually 20 years ago. And like fingers crossed, it's finally materializing, and we cannot be more excited about this. So hopefully this year, something good will come out of it.
She said this during the Unspoken Soul Awareness campaign held at the Faculty of Language and Communication in UNIMAS on Tuesday. Tan also pointed out steps to be taken as a survivor and preventive measures towards the immoral act.
If you were to approach and make a report, please do not shower. You can head straight to accident and emergency department at any general hospitals and ask for the One-Stop Crisis Center or SCC. And from the One-Stop Crisis Center, this is a one-stop crisis center, which means the medical staff will attend to you, they will get a swab and they will bring in the rape kit test, and they will help you patch up any wounds or abrasions that you have. The police will also come to you. They will come to you and they will take your statement. And there will also be social workers from JKM that will come and provide any counselling support that you need, or even apply for an interim protection order or an emergency protection order. So this is like a restraining order for the perpetrators.
She also pointed out for those who experience sexual violence to approach the right governmental bodies, agencies and NGOs to seek help and demand a restraining order towards perpetrators. Meanwhile, Unspoken Soul campaign president Michelle Ethel reiterated that the campaign aims to raise awareness of and have a better understanding of sexual harassment issues on campus.
We still want people to speak up about the experience, especially for male survivors, because the stereotype is still going on, like bila sidak padah about their experience, and then sidak the masyarakat be like, ay sidak to lemah jua, bukan sidak to like sepatutnya kuat, si boleh nangis ke daya.
An emergency plan has been activated to safeguard the pilgrims and visitors as flash floods is forecasted in the holy city of Mecca, which houses the Grand Mosque. The Director of Security of the Grand Mosque, Hussein bin Hassan al-Asafi, said more than 200 supervisors and 4,000 cleaning staff have been mobilized to help launch the task.
The National Center of Meteorology (NCM), which was quoted by the Saudi news agency SPA on Tuesday, informed that the heavy rain accompanied by lumps of ice and thunderstorms is forecasted to remain until Tuesday morning. The forecast also stated that moderate heavy rain is predicted with strong winds, large waves, hail and low visibility, while heavy snow is predicted in the northern region of Saudi Arabia and thick fog will form early Monday morning. The public are advised to be cautious and not approach locations where rainwater accumulates to ensure their safety.
That's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Shol Shameto. Thank you for watching.